We've lost the life of a little boy.
Your little boy was not in that car.
I'm so thankful. I just thank God, that my son wasn't in there.
We recovered the body of a small child.
The physical description and the clothing match little Juliani.
The water authority was out doing their normal operations when they saw the body of a child floating in the water.
That farm worker didn't call as soon as he seen that car go in. Maybe if my son is in there, maybe they could have saved him.
We wanted to find little Juliani alive. That was our goal, was to bring him home. As the days progressed, as the investigation progressed, we just knew that that wasn't going to be possible. Everything led us to that canal. This investigation continues. This is a homicide investigation. It's an ongoing investigation. We have issued a warrant for the arrest for Jose Rodriguez. We're going to treat this case as a homicide, and in the course and scope of that investigation, the issuance of a warrant is proper. We will continue this investigation until we find Jose Rodriguez, but right now, again, we want to make sure that we do everything as a community to support Tabitha and Giuliani's grandmother.
We are taking your calls. I'm going to go straight back out to Gene Casares. Gene Casares, if this guy is still on the large, what are they doing to find him?
Well, they believe he's in the canal, and they believe the body will float up. But saying that, the arrest warrant has been issued, and I would assume that that picture right there is what they are showing on local news, if anyone has seen him. And Nancy, California has the death penalty, and I can think of a number of aggravating factors that fits what this guy did.
Such as?
Such as, he's a convicted felon. He was convicted of manslaughter. Number 2, the little boy was under 12 years of age. Number 2, he was in a familial position of custody and custodial person to this little boy. And heinous, atrocious, and cruel to drive a living, breathing little boy into a canal.
Out to the lines, Patricia in Maryland. Hi, Patricia.
Hello, Nancy. It's an honor to speak with you. Your twins are as beautiful as their mom.
Patricia, thank you, and thank you for calling in.
I mean it sincerely, and I have not felt so passionate about one of your cases forever to call tonight. I kind of have a comment and a question.
Okay.
I don't think that anyone in the whole world deserves what this mother is going through. But there's people like Mark Klass, the family in Baltimore right now, people that raised their children correctly, did the best they could. This man was an alcoholic, they said. They said he had drug issues. They said he was convicted of manslaughter and child abuse. I'm sorry. Friday, when Gene was on for you, all of these people were calling in and saying, the whole country's behind you, to the mom, Tabitha. Well, I'm very sorry, and no one deserves to go through this, but who has their 4-year-old son around a man that is a child abuser, manslaughter, alcoholic, drug user? And along that line, my question is, my understanding is he had been arrested either for child abuse or child predator. If that's the case, how is he living with the 4-year-old in the first place? Not to mention, you were asking about him picking him up at Head Start. I thought these people weren't allowed to be within so many miles of schools and so forth. We've got to look out for our children. Making them available to these people is the worst thing possible.
You know what? She's right, Deborah Mark. How was he living with a 4-year-old little boy?
Well, first of all, he wasn't living with the little boy up until 5 months ago is when Tabitha left Jose. But before that, he does have an extensive criminal history, but we were not able to see exactly when he was arrested for touching a child under the age of 14 inappropriately. Yes, he was convicted of involuntary manslaughter, but again, we were not able to get the details of that, so we have no idea when that happened. Maybe he was a juvenile.
Straight back out to the lines. Let's go to Patsy in Pennsylvania. Hi, Patsy.
Hi, Nancy. I just love you. My question is, was the driver's seatbelt buckled? Because he may have unbuckled his belt and saved himself. They ought to be able to tell some stuff by that.
Good question. To Jake Casares, what do we know about the seatbelts?
Learned was in asking Tabitha if he had a pattern of wearing seatbelts, and she said he did not. Seatbelts were in that car, but he didn't have a habit of putting them on.
To Sheriff Adam Christensen, what do we know about the seatbelt, Sheriff?
At this point, Nancy, we don't know anything. We're still in the process of looking at the car and getting evidence from the vehicle. It's unlikely, however, that we're going to get anything from the car's computer system, which could potentially indicate whether or not seatbelts were used.
To Mark Harold, former officer APD, attorney and author of Observations of White Noise. Mark, thank you for being with us. Mark, weigh in. What do we do to find this guy?
Well, I think he's in the canal, but the one thing is, this is a place that the criminal element at least knew you dumped cars when they were stolen. So if he did have help, somebody may have led him there. I'd want to know how familiar he was with this area and look out to his people in his criminal past, people he may have served time with, brushed up against in a criminal setting, and see if someone's in the area that might have helped him out or at least told him where to dump that car.
Ann in Arkansas. Hi, Ann. What's your question?
I wanted to know if he was a legal citizen of the United States.
Good question. To Deborah Mark, KABC. What do we know, Deborah?
We do not have information on that. That has not been revealed to us.
Sheriff Christensen, was he illegal?
No, Nancy, he's a legal resident of the United States.
Sheriff, I got to ask you something else. You know, we cover these cases all the time, and I was prosecuting. I saw them. When you get home at night, Sheriff, how do you shake it off?
It's difficult. It's been a very difficult case for everybody, myself included. It's been emotional. It's been frustrating. And I certainly lose plenty of sleep over cases like this.
You are seeing shots of 4-year-old Juliani Cardenas. The search for the boy has ended. His body has been found. The perpetrator still at large tonight. Our prayers for little Juliani.